0908. Operators are standing by.
You'll find the latest AccuWeather forecast with Brad Spakowitz and Sean Cronin 24 hours a day on the NewsCenter 11 Weather Hotline. Call 455-1111.
Some full-size cars have been scaled down this year. Fortunately, the 1986 Pontiac Parisienne isn't one of them. 86 Parisienne from your Wisconsin Pontiac Bay Center is just as big, comfortable, and luxurious as ever, with available options like air conditioning, cruise control, AM/FM stereo, and room for 6. In fact, it's big enough for almost anyone. Get the big one, 1986 Pontiac Parisienne. See your Wisconsin Pontiac Bay Center today.
Say hello to a good buy at ShopKo. We won't be undersold on any name brand item. Even appliances like microwaves from Sanyo, ovenware from Miro, GE percolators, Mr. Coffee coffee makers, scads of skillets from GE, Corningware, Chicago Cutlery, Sunbeam Mixmasters and Hamilton Beach processors, Regal griddles, woks from West Bend, Rubbermaid microware, and that's not nearly the end. They're all on sale now. Just check out our circular in this week's newspaper. ShopKo, we won't be undersold.
Mostly clear skies on tap for tonight. We have a big old full moon out there. There might be a few clouds from time to time, but for the most part, we're going to have a very pleasant evening, although we'll be a bit on the chilly side. The overnight low temperatures, generally speaking, in the Upper Peninsula, I'd say the mid to upper 20s look like a pretty good possibility. You get into northeast and east central Wisconsin, though, temperatures get into the low to middle 30s. Now, as far as tomorrow morning goes, matter of fact, all day, mostly sunny conditions. I think tomorrow is going to be just a gorgeous fall day. The daytime high temperatures in the Upper Peninsula, really looking at temperatures in the low 50s, middle 50s to maybe upper 50s, though, in northeast and east central Wisconsin. Now, in my full AccuWeather forecast, that's what I say, 52 to 58 degrees with southeast winds and just a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Beautiful day. As we get into Tuesday, even warmer. Temperatures go up 60 to 66 degrees, and again, a lot of sunshine. No rain in the forecast. And as we get into Wednesday, after that cool front comes through, we really cool off. 47 to 53 degrees. Now let's go back to the news desk.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Sean. That wraps up this edition of NewsCenter 11 tonight. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the Lynn Dickey Show next, and for the first news of the day, join Monty Black with NewsCenter 11 today, starting at 6:45 tomorrow morning. Until then, good night.
This November, WLUK 11 helps you plan your winter. The WLUK Holiday Travel Mystery Cruise could be yours. Watch 11 weekdays for clues and details. Don't miss your chance to escape.
Discover the difference. It's a grand opening unlike any other. Executive Office Supplies is unveiling a whole new look with a difference you'll appreciate this Wednesday, October 30th through Saturday, November 2nd. A new location, a dramatically expanded showroom, a whole range of supplies discounted 30 to 40%. Stop in, register to win $3,000 in gifts. Discover the difference at Executive Office Supplies. Executive Office Supplies, 1029 West Mason, Green Bay.
Monday at 10 in the NewsCenter 11 special report. Jeff Stry tells you about the stories behind some of Northeast Wisconsin's haunted houses in favorite haunts. A special report beginning Monday at 10 p.m. on NewsCenter 11 tonight.
Here's good news for dairymen from the Eastman Chemicals Division of Eastman Kodak Company. ISO Plus nutritional supplement helps cows give 4 to 6 pounds more milk per day with no increase in feed intake and no harmful side effects. ISO Plus is safe and it's easy to feed. You can buy ISO Plus from your local feed supplier. ISO Plus. More milk, more money. Ask for it. ISO Plus from Eastman.
WLUK 11 Green Bay.
Good
Good evening. Welcome to the Lynn Dickey Show. I know it was bad. Lynn knows it was bad. Our special guest tonight, Carl Swanky, knows it was bad. You know it was bad. So let's start from there. Maybe we'll have some fun tonight. Not a lot of fun, but who knows. Let's get right to the man the show is named after, Lynn Dickey. Lynn, is there any one word you could use to best describe today's ball game?
I guess execution, or lack of it.
Execution sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah. You know, like, I'll pick on myself. I got time to throw the football. I had people to throw it to, and I just didn't do it. I overthrew them, I underthrew them, I threw interceptions, I turned it over. Again, lack of execution, no excuses or reasons, just didn't do it.
Well, let's take a look at one of the worst. Then the first pass you threw, Phil Epps falls down. You can't really see Phil fall. I'm sure you had a better view of it.
Well, it's a quick bootleg to the left. Phil did slip and fall, but this ball is thrown way behind him. And maybe if Phil would have not lost his footing, he may have broken it up. But the ball was still thrown way behind him and was not a good pass at all.
How discouraging is this loss?
Well, it's very discouraging. You know, here was a chance for us to get back at 4-4 in the first half of the season. Excuse me. And you know, team, we thought we could win. Maybe that was one of the problems. We thought we were going to win, and Coach Greg talked about it all week to us. Don't be overconfident. This is a good football team. They're aggressive. You better get ready to play. And I think we're ready to play. Again, I just don't think we executed.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more in just a minute. Now, it wasn't the type of game that inspires a lot of optimism. It's not the type of game which gets much better the second time you look at it, but grit your teeth. Here it comes. It was one of those days that started out bad, went to worse, and just sort of hung around there for a while.
3-5 going into the second half of the season. I mean, you kind of wondering what in the hell is going on.
The Colts running game isn't among the league's best, but you'd never know it today. Randy McMillan looked like an all-pro, 126 yards, 21 on the touchdown run to make it 14-0 in the first quarter.
The thing that I think our people underestimated a little bit was his speed. He can run.
The Packers got back into the ball game late in the quarter. Dickey to Kaufman for 28 yards. The same combination from 8 yards for 6 points.
It was one where they had me split out wide, which is a little different position for me, and we rolled everybody to the left, and I ran kind of an in and then hooked it back out, and Lynn threw a perfect pass, you know, about a foot off the ground, which, you know, there's no way the defender could get to it, and luckily, I just thank God I was able to get down there and snag it.
After a Del Greco field goal, the Packers seemed ready to take control, but instead it was the Colts offense which took control, an 81-yard, 18-play drive which ate up over 9 minutes on the clock. It only produced 3 points, but the damage was done. The Packers were down 20-10 at halftime, and it was obvious the Colts weren't as bad as some people thought.
Playing the Bears and losing to them on Monday Night TV and then having them again in 2 weeks, I think, you know, it could be easy to overlook the Colts. They're a young team. They're just starting to gel, and I think today they showed, you know, that they can't be taken lightly.
It only took 3 plays of the second half for the Colts to build a 17-point cushion. McMillan to Pagel, Pagel to Capers. In some ways, it was already over. It's not that the Packers didn't have chances for the rest of the game, it's just that they didn't cash them in. The final was 37-10, an upset on paper, but not on the field. And with half a season left, you have to wonder if the lights are already out.
We'll make what changes we can make. You can't really go out on the street. You can do that. You can go out on the street and bring people in, but, you know, we have some people that we thought at the beginning of this year were capable.
Oh, I don't think it's ever too late. We've dug ourselves some deeper holes and managed to be fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the season, and hopefully this year we can be fighting for a playoff spot come the last game.
When we come back, Lynn and I will go over some of those plays, talk about what might have been and what went wrong. All that next when the Lynn Dickey Show continues.
The Lynn Dickey Show is brought to you by Keller Tire in Fond du Lac, Baumgart Tire in Appleton, your 7 Cadillac Professionals now offering incredible 7.7% financing, and Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Free with any style, any price range. Free for each foot of upper and lower kitchen cabinets, a foot of our regular countertop free at Plywood Osh Kosh.
There's never been a luxury car like this. Your Cadillac Professional presents the 1986 Cadillac DeVille. V8 power, McPherson strut suspension, rack and pinion steering, all warranted for 4 years or 50,000 miles. The 1986 Cadillac DeVille, now available at your Cadillac Professional. Before you buy it for the luxury, ask about the performance.
This Bud's for all you guys who know it's how you play the game.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who makes it move the way you do. Come your way. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
When you need countertops, come to M. Schettl Freight for the tops in countertops. Low as $2.99. Even if your project is small, think big. Think M. Schettl Freight Sales, Oshkosh.
Welcome back to the Lynn Dickey Show. Lynn, Paul Kaufman, some of the other guys talked about it. You mentioned it briefly about the Bears games. This game sandwiched in between a tough loss and the upcoming game at home. How much does that affect a team once you're in the game?
Well, I really didn't think it would affect us in this game at all. I really didn't. I felt very comfortable going into this week of practicing and work and our preparation to get ready for the Colts. And like I said earlier, the coach had talked to us continuously about don't be overconfident, don't sell these people short. And I don't think we did. I just think we got whipped.
Well, one of the bad things when you give up points early, when you're on the road, things can happen. But you guys really started moving there. We're going to take a look at the reverse to Phil Epps. This was on the scoring drive. Nice play.
Well, it's the same reverse that worked for us a couple weeks ago against Detroit. And we got everyone on the other side of the field, and certainly with a devastating blocker like that out in front.
I see it. Right.
You know, we had it cut pretty well. And Phil just did step out of bounds right there, and you know, somebody inadvertently saw it.
Okay, this led to a touchdown pass to Kaufman. You and Paul really had a good combination going today. Paul was catching everything thrown his way and trying to get some good yardage afterwards.
Well, you know, recently we haven't been getting the ball to Paul as much as we'd like to, and it wasn't really by design to force the ball into him and say, let's work and get the ball to Paul Kaufman this week. But you know, he's another guy. We've got to take advantage of his talents, and you know, the coverage dictates really who I'm going to throw it to, and it just worked out today that he got a lot of balls thrown at him.
Let's take a look at the touchdown pass to Kaufman. He makes a nice catch in this.
This was an excellent catch. We sent Phil Epps in motion here, and I'm trying to hit him real quick, but he was covered. And I just, Paul is a secondary outlet receiver, and you know, being a tight end out there, he had a cornerback covering him, and he really did a good job. He leaned into him and pushed off, and I felt like there was only, you know, one place I could throw the ball, down low and away, and he either caught it or he didn't, and he really came up with a good catch.
Now, I'll be truthful, I thought you guys were right back in it. You were going to take control, forget it, bury the Colts.
Well, I did too. I felt, you know, that like the first 2 interceptions I threw to them, I felt like we gave them 14 points, but after we came back and we scored on that drive there, it was 14-7. And then I think it was 14-10, or no, maybe they kicked a field goal.
17-10.
They made it 17. Then we got a field goal and made it 17-10. I felt we were back in the game. And then they had a real good drive before the half and chewed up a lot of the clock and kind of ate us up for the half.
Okay, now you got the ball back with about 40 seconds left. You were driving. You throw a pass to James, not the best pass in the world, but he should have caught it. How demoralizing is that when you don't score before the end of the half, when you have a chance?
Well, it's demoralizing, but you know, if I'd have thrown this ball up just a little, you know, a foot or so higher, and I threw it way before James came out of his break, and by the time he turned around, you know, the ball was up on him, and it would have been a miraculous catch, to say the least. But if I'd have thrown the ball a little higher to him, you know, he steps out of bounds, and we kill the clock, I think, at that point with 11 seconds. And, you know, we go in, I think Al Del Greco kick a field goal. Yeah. It's 2013. We got a little momentum going. But, you know, when things are going poorly and going bad like they did today, you know, you don't come up with those plays, and it was not in the cards.
Okay. Coming up, offensive tackle Carl Swanke will join Lynn and I when the Lynn Dickey Show continues.
There's never been a luxury car like this. Your Cadillac Professional presents the 1986 Cadillac DeVille. V8 power, McPherson strut suspension, rack and pinion steering, all warranted for 4 years or 50,000 miles. The 1986 Cadillac DeVille, now available at your Cadillac Professional. Before you buy it for the luxury, ask about the performance.
Keeping this driveway clear used to take a lot longer. Then we got this Honda snowblower. It's the first snowblower with tracks instead of wheels. And nothing gives you traction like tracks, so you don't slip and slide. And it's got enough engine to blow about 1,000 pounds of snow a minute. The Honda snowblower.
In Appleton, it's Ace Hardware of Appleton. In Green Bay, Action Power Center. And in Scandinavia, the Academy.
Le Mans, the VF Goodrich CompTA radial becomes the only street tire ever to win first in class at this event. On the road, the V-Speed rated CompTA gives unsurpassed performance. Tests prove CompTA radials handle better overall, and with outstanding wet traction. From 50 miles per hour, it stops in as short as 174.3 feet. VF Goodrich TA high-tech radials. We make cars, even race cars, perform.
See Baumgart Tire and Wheel, 914 West Wisconsin Avenue, Appleton, and Keller Tire, 730 Northwest Way, Fond du Lac.
Kruegers TrueValue Hardware, your headquarters for Delta Power Tools. This 13-inch planer is completely portable for easy movement from one side to another. $150 rebate is available. Get a 10-inch contractor saw with extra large cast iron tabletop with extensions. Get an 11-inch wood lathe designed to meet the needs of craftsmen and hobbyists. Unit has unique expandable two-piece bed. Whatever your needs, the Valley's most complete selection is at Kruegers TrueValue Hardware, Winneconne Avenue, Neenah.
Welcome back to the Lynn Dickey Show. Joining us now, Packer offensive tackle Carl Swanke, and the man nominated for the NFL Man of the Year. Carl, that's a prestigious honor.
Yes, it is, and Late Beer from Miller has done a great, you know, service to the community by having this award every year, and this year I chose to cut the award in two and give it to two different charities. One, the Family Violence Center here in Green Bay, and the other, the Wisconsin Heart Association, which is a near and dear thing to me because I lost my dad from heart disease at an early age.
Now, I was looking through the pamphlet. A lot of, quote, big name types are in there. Not many offensive linemen. Is it tough in the relative obscurity of an offensive lineman to get the publicity that you need to get the NFL Man of the Year award?
Yes, it is tough for an offensive lineman. Not too many people know of us unless we do something wrong, like a holding penalty or have Lynn Dickey sacked or somebody else. It's just a tough position for that kind of recognition, but I think the people of Green Bay and Wisconsin know, you know, what it takes to play offensive line, and I think they'll help out, and they always are supportive.
Well, it is tough too, you know, nothing against our area here, but you know, the market area that we have here, as far as the votes that Carl could get for that award, or you know, just it's not like Chicago, LA, or New York. And I think you talk about linemen getting it. Marty Lyons was a past winner, wasn't he, Carl, for the New York Jets? And but your market there is so much better, and your opportunities are a lot better, I should say.
What is it, Carl, that separates an offensive lineman from other positions? I know that defensive linemen, they say you can put you into a computer if you know, kicked your dog when you were a kid, you'd be a good linebacker, things like that. What are the ideal situations for an offensive lineman? How would you break that down?
I think, first of all, he doesn't want to have too much glory as far as scoring touchdowns and making a lot of tackles or stuff like that. I think his number one glory is doing his job to the best of his ability, which means blocking somebody and knowing that he has made the runner go for a touchdown or have the quarterback throw for a long touchdown pass.
Lynn, do you agree with that?
I agree. You know, it's an inner relief or inner feeling of that you've done your job, and I think it's exactly what Carl says, because not many people are going to come out and say, wow, yeah, Carl, you did a great job, you know, way to win the game for us, you know. Well, he knows people are not going to do that, and he has to go into the game with a lot of self-pride. And I think any offensive lineman or any man who wants to play on the offensive line has just got to have a lot of self-pride, and he does.
Okay, well, we'll be right back with Lynn and Carl. But first of all, you know, half the season is gone, and the Central Division owns a certain distinction. They have the only team which is undefeated and the only team which has continually been defeated. Joe Marciano is here now to take us around the league. Joe?
That's right, John. The NFC Central Division leaving up to its past history. The Green Bay Packers will get another chance to be the first team in the NFL to beat the Chicago Bears next Sunday when they meet in Lambeau Field. The Bears won for the 8th week in a row today by whipping Minnesota. The Bears got off the ground quickly in this one. Opening drive, Jim McMahon goes up top to Dennis McKinnon, spotting Chicago to a 7-0 lead. The Vikes made it close in the second quarter when Darren Nelson took it in from 1 yard out. The refrigerator, William Perry, even played some defense this week and recorded his first NFL sack. How about that? The Bears defense broke this one open in the third quarter, leading 13-7. Otis Wilson picks off Tommy Kramer and returns it all the way for the score. It was 20-7 Chicago. Walter Payton topped the scoring off when he took McMahon's screen pass and tiptoed into the end zone. The Bears beat the Vikings 27-9 and are the last of the unbeaten teams in the NFL. The Detroit Lions came up with a big win against the Miami Dolphins today. Trailing 10-0, Dan Marino cut it to 3, hitting Joe Rose in the end zone for the score. But every time the Dolphins got close, Detroit answered. This time, Eric Hipple hit Leonard Thompson on a little slant in, and Thompson turns it into a big play, putting Detroit back up by 10. Marino and the Dolphins cut it to 3 once again as he hit Nat Moore in a little timing panner in the corner. But once again, Hipple and company got the job done. This time, he hit Mark Nichols with 20 seconds left in the first half, giving the Lions a 24-14 halftime lead. Detroit goes on to beat Miami 31-21, improving their record to 5-3 in the NFC Central Division. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is still looking for win number 1 as they lost for the 8th straight week, this time 32-14 to New England. The Los Angeles Rams finally met their match in the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Montano had their number here in the first quarter. He hits Wendell Tyler, making it 14-0 Niners. They go on to trounce the Rams by the final 28-14. Elsewhere in the NFL today, Dallas beat Atlanta by 2 touchdowns. Houston was 10 better than St. Louis. Philadelphia rallied to nip Buffalo 21-17. The Jets scored 17 unanswered points. They had Seattle. Denver whipped Kansas City 30-10. Washington was a touchdown better than Cleveland. Cincinnati dropped Pittsburgh, and the Giants beat New Orleans 23-13. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joe. Well, next week, the Bears will bring the refrigerator to town. We'll talk about how they can stay out of the deep freeze, and the Lynn Dickey Show continues.
Last year, Budweiser captured the IndyCar Championship. This year, the '85 Budweiser team is on the fast track again. For the hottest IndyCar action you will ever see, come watch us play. Because Budweiser plays to win.
Outstanding cornering. Sports cars perform with precision on the new 8-speed rated radial TA 60H from BF Goodrich. Excellent traction, both wet and dry. Race-proven technology is behind this revolutionary radial TA 60H. Superior handling with a quiet, comfortable ride in a distinctive raised white leather tire. BF Goodrich TA high-tech radials. We make cars perform.
See Keller Tire, 730 Northwest Way, Fond du Lac, and Baumgart Tire and Wheel, 914 West Wisconsin Avenue, Appleton.
There's never been a luxury car like this. Your Cadillac Professional presents the 1986 Cadillac DeVille. V8 power, McPherson strut suspension, rack and pinion steering, all warranted for 4 years or 50,000 miles. The 1986 Cadillac DeVille, now available at your Cadillac Professional. Before you buy it for the luxury, ask about the performance.
If you're thinking about a new cap for your truck, think of Lakeland Sports Center. Hi, I'm Ron Harrington. Here at our factory in Greenbush, we manufacture fiberglass and aluminum caps and sell them factory direct. And you can buy this high-quality fiberglass cap for only $359 and get a full 1-year factory warranty. 2 locations to serve you, our factory showroom in Greenbush and our factory outlet store in Madison. So why pay high retail when you can buy factory direct? Can't beat that.
Welcome back to the Lynn Dickey Show with our very special guest tonight, offensive tackle Carl Swanke. Carl, whenever you play the Bears, the offensive linemen get all the ink during the week. How do you keep them out? Richard Dent, one of the greatest in the game right now. Hartenstein is okay. They're tough. It's a tough defensive line. What's it like that week of the game?
It's just it's a tough week, and we have to prepare well, you know, to play to the best of our ability and not do things fundamentally sound, because, you know, with their defensive line, anything you do wrong fundamentally is...
We'll take a look at one play from last week's game where they nailed Jim Zorn. Do they play with a tenacity that's different from other teams, or just physically are they that much stronger and quicker?
Yes. They, you know, not only is the scheme that they play, which a lot of teams play, but to go along with their scheme, their talent, you know, like Carl mentioned, you just can't make mistakes against these people, because I think they probably got 3 of the best defensive linemen in the whole game. And
Hampton, McMichael, and Dent.
And they're all playing on the same team.
Yeah. What about when they brought the refrigerator in last week? Did that bother you guys? Were they just trying to slam you a little?
Well, I don't think so. I think, personally, that was my opinion. You know, the guy's 330-some pounds or whatever he weighs, and that's a heck of a lead blocker. And, you know, I think that was the intent, just send Walter Payton in right behind William Perry, and something's got to give up there.
What about this week? Now, not saying you're out of playoff contention completely, but there's just not the excitement, it seems like, now after this loss going into the Bears game.
I mean, as opposed to when we were 1-7 last year, the excitement we had then?
Yeah, yeah.
It's, yeah, I mean, things are rough right now. I mean, let's not paint it pretty. It's rough, and we're going to have to really gather ourselves, come up with a tremendous effort this week. You know, I think you should forget about the remaining 8 games. Let's get this one football game right now, and that's Chicago Bears, and then we'll worry about the rest of them.
Just say it. Say one game at a time.
I didn't want to say that.
Thank you. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a minute as the Lynn Dickey Show continues.
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdales have been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste, because this Bud's for you.
Furnishings Unlimited's expansion is nearly complete. Because new carpet will be installed Monday, everything must be sold off our showroom floor. Only hours remain for you to get unbelievable clear-out values and fine furniture. All wood occasional tables, values to $249, now just $87. Dozens of sofas and love seats, values to $699, now as low as $266. 5-piece dinette sets, values to $599, now $244. Plus much more. Ends this weekend. Clear out our showroom and save at Furnishings Unlimited, Appleton.
Le Mans, the VF Goodrich CompTA radial becomes the only street tire ever to win first in class at this event. On the road, the V-Speed rated CompTA gives unsurpassed performance. Tests prove CompTA radials handle better overall, and with outstanding wet traction. From 50 miles per hour, it stops in as short as 174.3 feet. VF Goodrich TA high-tech radials. We make cars, even race cars, perform.
See Baumgart Tire and Wheel, 914 West Wisconsin Avenue, Appleton, and Keller Tire, 730 Northwest Way, Fond du Lac.
Beginning Monday at 10 in the NewsCenter
NewsCenter 11 special report. Jeff Stry tells you about the stories behind some of Northeast Wisconsin's haunted houses in favorite haunts. A special report beginning Monday at 10 p.m. on NewsCenter 11 tonight.
The Lynn Dickey Show has been brought to you by Baumgart Tire in Appleton, Keller Tire in Fond du Lac, your 7 Cadillac Professionals now offering incredible 7.7% financing, and Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Welcome back. Lynn, you stopped just short of saying one game at a time, but still the Bears game coming up is such a big game. How can you forget about the Colts game, forget about the last Bears loss, and just think about this one and put everything into it? How tough is that?
I really don't want to think about any of that stuff right now. Because right now, I got a little business that we haven't quite taken care of, and that's all the shots you give me on this show. You know, this week you haven't been real good this week.
Not that bad.
So I think we should remind all the people of the little session that you had last Friday.
Last Friday? What did I do last Friday?
Well, I think we may have a little clip of this coming up.
And John, I've done some thorough checking with my sources.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Packers 32, Colts 7. Okay. Take it to the bank.
Excellent.
Where did that
come? You do a really good job, and if that wasn't bad enough, then you come back and you make a little suggestion about the World Series. Let's have a little shot of that.
Lead the series 3 games to 1, and John, I hate bragging of any sorts, so don't mention that I picked the Cardinals to win it in 5 games. Let's just forget about that.
I wasn't going to. Good. Thanks, John.
Finally, I get back at John Marino.
You're vicious. You're cold-blooded.
The facts are hard.
Wow. I'm going to have to give Forrest a call. Really look close at those films tomorrow. Wow. Carl, do you have anything to say? Would you like to give me one final shot or anything?
Carl's not that kind of person. Don't try and bring him down to my level.
Okay, good. It's a long drop. Okay. Good luck next week against the Bears, Lynn.
Okay,
Hope Mr. Dent doesn't visit you at all.
I think Carl, he won't.
Carl has something to do with that.
Okay, he'll take care of it.
Okay, sincerely, good luck.
Thank you.
No more predictions from my end. Carl, thanks for joining us tonight. Good luck in the Man of the Year voting. Okay, that's our show for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week after the Bears visit Green Bay. Have a good week.
Tonight's guest will receive a gift certificate from Paulo's Luggage and Gifts, Green Bay, Appleton, and Wausau.
For most of the year, it waits, but the time will come for it to perform. That's why you want a Simplicity. You know whatever winter throws at you, a Simplicity can throw it back. Simplicities have the power, durability, and features to stand up to winter's worst blows. When the time comes, remember, there's no substitute for simplicity.
Nobody walks once they've been to Joe Van Horn Chevrolet in Plymouth, where they sell or lease those great new 86 Chevrolet cars and trucks for less with low 8.8 finance rates on many models. Like this new 86 S10 pickup truck for just $66.66. And you can buy from Joe Van Horn Chevrolet with complete confidence because they have a full-service mechanical and body shop and free loaner cars. And once a repair is made, Joe Van Horn Chevrolet guarantees that you'll never have to pay for the same repair again as long as you own the car. So stop in at Joe Van Horn Chevrolet in Plymouth.
This is WLUK Green Bay.